Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling all day, every day. The podcast is real. Here we are, and look who we've got. Yeah, buddy, LG3's on, and we got Sean Y. We'll just leave it at Y. Good to see you guys.
Oh,
Thanks for
what?
coming on. This is awesome. Can't wait. First off,
All right.
we should use that music that you have on the intro as your intro music, LG. That's a pretty slick song.
It is. It is. I like that.
Hey,
So
I got it downloaded and it's royalty free, brother man.
I mean, it's pretty slick. It's pretty slick. So,
All right.
yeah, I've been waiting for this. So, you know how this is going to roll. I told you a little bit. I just want you to tell us about you. Like what got you into wrestling. You start talking, and we'll start asking because it's all about you. Like I want this show to be, which the wrestlers will see this. So, you guys, gals, this is all about you. I'm gonna sit in the background and
Okay.
ask a few questions here and there, but you guys are gonna take the lead for sure. I want this to give you some
Oh,
exposure. So.
awesome.
So yeah,
Awesome.
you just if
Well,
you want to
first of
start with
all,
just yep, go for it.
oh no, no, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. If you want to go ahead and start, you can roll with it.
Okay. Well, the first thing I want to do is thank the both of you for doing this. It is greatly appreciated. At least I can't speak for everybody, but it's greatly appreciated by me, especially with your willingness and just the drive that you have and wanting to do it with nothing expected in return. Just want to always be a help to others, and I mean that means the world to me. And I really appreciate you guys for doing this.
Yes, sir. Wrestling
Uh,
fans, man, that's what we're here for.
hey, we can't have wrestlers without wrestling fans, so this is awesome.
That's right. Oh
Uh,
yeah, your shirt. I forgot your
let's
shirt.
see.
Hey, it's the Yeah Buddy. I forgot.
The
I meant to
Yeah
say that
Buddy
first thing.
t-shirts.
Oh man, I got his
Oh,
Yeah
it's all
Buddy
right.
shirt on. I forgot to say that. I apologize. Now you
They,
can. Sorry about
that's
that.
fine. That's fine. They are still for sale. I got them in all sizes. Hit my DM on Facebook. Lionel R. Gilks with the three lines. Lionel R. Gilks the third. You can find me on Facebook. Right now, that's my only source of social media until I start branching out a little bit more. But if you want to put in an order for a T-shirt, just hit my DM and I'll send them out if I need to. Or you can catch me on the table at any one of my shows. Um, but that's it on my merch right now.
We'll get it shared out for you too. We'll make sure everybody gets to see the links and stuff for you.
Hey, and
Awesome, awesome.
I'm gonna be up that way in late
Oh yeah.
June. So if I make a show, man, I'm gonna come by and I get a few shirts.
That'd be awesome.
Oh man, I appreciate it.
Maybe we
Pinky
could do a
promise.
show with like a couple of wrestlers or something when you come in. Maybe we could get like LG3 and a couple of wrestlers together and do something. That'd be cool.
Hey, I'm game. I'm game.
So anyway, yeah, I get it's a sidetrack kind of thing, but I guess you just kind of go with the flow.
Yeah,
It's the
and
nature of the business.
that's how these things go, man. That's everything. You just you kind of take it with the flow. I guess LG man, like my first question to you would be like, what was your very first memory of life of professional wrestling that made you a fan?
Well, unfortunately, not unlike the small few, I didn't have the Saturday morning sitting around with mom and dad and tuning in, but I did catch them when I did from time to time, and just as a kid, I was just really inspired and shocked and amazed by the size of these unreal human beings, and of course, as a kid, that stuff is just real. And you get hooked in, and you fall in love with your faces, and you hate the heels. But I guess my earliest memory would go back to, oh man, I can't pinpoint an age, but I'm from the era of the Junkyard Dogs, Coco Bewares, Jimmy
Yeah,
Superfly Snooker, the old school guys. And when you really get captivated in what's going on, even uh, as far back, well, that was probably later in my years, but when they brought in Macho Man and Elizabeth and they brought their personal life into the ring, and that just added more to the realism. Especially that one match where Elizabeth jumps the rails because her husband's
yeah,
getting, or her fiance is getting beat up on, and she slaps the mess out of Miss Sherry there, and they hug and reunite, and the whole stadium just goes ballistic because everybody was in love with that couple. And so I'm from that era of watching wrestling, and uh, I've just been.
Hmm.
I'm not one of the guys that's I'm tuning in every week, and shame on me. I try to, but when I catch a show, oh my goodness, like this past WrestleMania that just went on, I caught the first night, and oh man, I was at the edge of my seat since the Jay and Gunther match, and I I could have been good that whole the rest of the weekend just watching that first match. But yeah, I go back that about that far. That's how I first got started into it, and like kids with their dreams. I want to be this when I grow up, whatever. There was only two things in life I ever wanted to really be, and that was either a professional football player or a professional wrestler. And of course, uh, life didn't work out that way. Obviously, I'm not in the NFL, but I did
I'm
play a
glad you.
little
I'm glad you took
semi-pro
the
football.
wrestling. I'm glad.
Oh man, oh man, I did play. I did play a little semi-pro football, and that right there is kind of the catalyst that got me into wrestling. And I never want to ever tell my story without making mention to some of the key people that got me involved. And it was my football coach. It was strange. And one night after practice, we're just talking about wrestling, and he happened to mention that he used to wrestle, and his family has this promotion, and he just had me hooked in like a fish on the hook, right? And so he invited me up to his family's house that following weekend, and he introduced me to the promoters. And um, that first night I was out there, the first day I was out there, they started training me. And once I took that first bump, it sucked, but um, I was hooked. I was hooked. And Keith Rundles is the man, is the coach, and I never want to tell that story without giving props to Keith Rundles and Galen Galen Edwards, Galen Ray. He was actually my first trainer and my first match. The story was
Wow.
it was a show down in New Bern, Tennessee. I would go out Saturday mornings, uh, pay my dues, like you know what to say. I sweep, mop, get trained, stay for the show. They were ready to try to put me in the ring after my first night, and I'm like, oh, I
Oh
just learned
man.
how to bump. I'm not ready for that yet. So for the first couple of weeks, I would just come in and shock the crowd. I would jump in a match, do a run in, hit somebody, and disappear so that the crowd's like, who's this guy? And
It's
that
cool.
led to a story to where the owners were, hey, you got to stop doing this. So I think it was the weekend before Thanksgiving of 2020. Finally had my first showdown, and I was a soup sandwich. And, and it was Galen who carried it. He carried me through the whole match. I mean, and but ever since then, it was just I wanted to, always get better. I wanted to do better. So uh, I didn't think that once a week was getting enough for me. So I started researching and trying to find some schools, and that's when I enrolled into Dr. Tom's school. And at the time, it was in Knoxville, JPWA, class of 2021, class hot tag. If any of my buddies are out there listening, um, and it was 3 months, 5 nights a week, uh, and I work in Nashville, so I would leave work, take a 2-hour drive to Knoxville, go to class, train, leave training, go back to work, and do my shift, and just repeat that for 5 nights for 3 months. Thankful my wife. I got to give her a shout out to Jessica Gilks. So grateful to her for allowing me to be able to do that because it took time away from my family. Because Monday through Friday, I was not going home. Go work class, work class, work class. Because you do the things you got to do, things that you love,
Yeah.
and at the same time, at that time, I was still wrestling in New Bern. So Monday through Friday, training class. Then Saturday, I got a show. So really, the only day I had was Sunday morning. So I had to make sure I took advantage of that time and gave it back to my family. But that's pretty much how I got my start in a nutshell. And then it's just been trying to get in somebody's ring. Just find a
Eh,
show, call a promoter, and try to make
Well,
some magic.
you asked me why I push. You asked me why I pushed so hard earlier. That's why. What you just said, you killed yourself so I could be entertained, so he could be entertained. You did that. You deserve all the credit in the world, just like a football player. Like they try to say that this is not real, yada yada, but you guys get hurt more than football players. So, that's why I pushed so hard. I mean, I mean, that's exactly why you killed yourself so you could entertain us. I mean, that's why I'm so passionate. And I mean, you
Yeah.
guys are just y'all are my heroes, man. Like you said, when you were a kid, you saw those huge
Mhm.
warriors, man, magical warriors that
Right.
you wanted to be like, and that was why, man. And ever since then, like I was telling you, I was watching the cartoons, man, all of it. Ever since
I
then,
watch those too.
it's magic. It's magic. The
Yes.
show is magic. And that's why I push so hard
Oh
as
man.
well. So anyway,
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I agree.
it's a whole different. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say I agree with Jay, and I hold that same sentiment, man. From the moment that I locked eyes on Andre and Hogan at WrestleMania 3, man, I was hooked. That's
Mm,
what I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and life kind of went the opposite direction. But every single time that I go to a show, I meet a performer, or whatever, I always thank them for breaking their bodies for our entertainment, because ultimately at the end of the day, if we kind of help set the pace for the show, but if it's not for you guys, we wouldn't be there, right? Like, so I don't give
mm,
I don't give a damn if it was Cena when I hated his body of work, or if it was Zack Ryder when he was the woo woo woo, right? Like
yeah.
I always appreciated the body of work, and then what the sacrifice that people made. I mean, you just said it, man. Like you went 3 months, 5 days a week, and you had a show on Saturday. Like, you dedicated your life to wrestling, and look where you are now. It's huge.
and look, I'll even say
Thank
this:
you.
I give Logan Paul his due. I can't stand the dude. I cannot stand the dude. I can't stand looking at him, but he is an amazing wrestler. Like
Yeah.
he is. I mean, I cannot stand him. But that's the whole point. He plays the heel. But man, he is
Yeah.
just that's what I look at.
I,
I
I'll
look at
say I'll say I agree because when he first got into it,
oh,
it turned my stomach. But
I can't
you
stand
can't
him.
take away from what he does in the ring. He's a phenomenal athlete. I just
Yes,
don't like,
yes. Just like
but he's
like when they
he's
say
getting
like,
good.
well, we're gonna jump into like if we jump into this stuff, I'll get deep. Like I could get deep into the people today. Like I've got stuff to say about like Penta and a lot of people, but we could get into that after we talk about you're the focus first, and then we could talk about wrestling because I could do you. You already know I could
All
do that
right.
all day long. So
Yes,
so
sir. Yes,
yeah,
sir.
uh, yeah. What
What what do you feel is the hardest part about the transition? Stepping into the wrestling ring, versus how life was before. Was it the physical? Was it the mental? The emotional? What was that for you?
It was the physical, definitely the physical. I've always, by nature, in high school and everything, I've always been that look at me person. So getting in front of a large crowd is where I draw my energy from anyway. I'm a natural cut up, so that was just uh, that was like a duck in water for me.
that's
But
awesome.
to lock up, take a headlock, hit the ropes, jump, flip, duck, pick up a 300-pound man and slam him down, all in one section, all in one segment. That takes a lot out of you physically. You got to have your condition up. You got to have. I'm not saying you have to be a body Adonis, but you don't want to get in the ring and after 2 minutes, you're breathing heavy because it takes a lot. And a typical match runs what 5-10 minutes. You can get a full body workout in that short amount of time.
Oh, I'm sure. And the rings are so small. I never realized they were so small until I started working for PWE. I never realized they were so small. When you see them on TV, you think they're
Yeah.
huge. You're like, oh, they got all kinds of time. No, they. You're like, whoop, whoop, whoop. I mean, it's crazy.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, they got those some are 20 footers and 18 footers, but that's the overall. In the end, you losing 2 feet on the other side of the
Crazy.
rope. So the
Yeah.
actual battle space is the shorter the ring, the shorter the fighting room you have too.
Hey, Sean,
And
think
so
of
it's
Attitude Era. So his favorite wrestler is the Attitude Era on. But look at him; he's trying to do it. He like how he looks, his gimmick. You've seen his picture. Who would he remind you of from the Attitude Era? Think of early Attitude Era, like Rocky Maivia Attitude Era.
Oh, yes, like Farouk.
Ha! He nailed it, dude. He even has the armbands,
yes, sir.
man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes, sir.
I would have said Farouk, and then if we were talking about more of the PG like NXT Black and Gold era, I would say Keith Lee, and I love Keith. I love music.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah,
But
You should
yeah,
be the
that's
Dominator.
Ron Simmons. Ron Simmons has been pretty much my inspiration, and he's where I get a lot of my character design, or I try to emulate him as much as I can. And well, I don't want to do it too much, but he is a huge inspiration for who LG3 is in the ring.
He's a bad dude.
Because you'll see, I don't do too many top rope moves. I really won't do too much technical locking up. I'm gonna fight you, and that's what Ron Simmons would do. He dominates you.
You're a grappler.
And I had
You're
the
the strong
fortunate
man.
opportunity to actually meet him, so that was a bonus too.
That's awesome.
that is awesome.
You get to meet your hero, man. That's so cool to meet your heroes.
Oh man,
That's awesome.
yes, yes. You know how sometimes they say it's not a good to meet him but this guy, oh man, such a nice guy, so down to earth. But uh, what you see when he's in the ring, I think his cameras did the opposite. They took some pounds off of him because in real life, that man is still to this day, he's an enormous, muscular, strong individual, man. I have a picture standing next to him, and he makes me look like a little kid.
Man, when he became the Acolytes, like he was big in the Nation of Domination, but man, when he became in the Acolytes, dude, good God, he like bulked up monster. He was huge,
Yes.
and he still is,
Yes.
like you said.
Well,
I remember.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, if you look at it, right, like when he was in the Nation, he was surrounded by some guys that were already ripped, right? Like you had Rocky. Rocky was already, he was getting up there, and then you had Mark Henry, world's strongest man. That dude, obviously, that dude is in the gym all the damn time. And then you had somebody that performed with a vest on and D'Lo Brown, so he looked jacked, right? And so there wasn't really anything outside of like Ahmed Johnson,
Kamala.
right? Kamala. I mean, there wasn't a lot for him to work with. But when he was paired with Bradshaw, man, Bradshaw was
Yes,
Bradshaw looked
the
he looked like a
APA,
potato.
dude.
He looked like a potato that could run, right? But you had Ron Simmons. Who was just absolutely shredded out of his mind. And so like
Mm-hmm.
it's all about the placement of who you're with and how you
Right.
from my perspective as a fan, you're teamed with, who you're paired with, who you're on the opposite end of the ring with. You can make that person look absolutely huge, or you can make them look small as hell.
Right. And it also is they had a great chemistry. I mean, when they moved from the dark side acolytes to the acolyte protection,
That was
oh my
cool.
gosh, that was probably one of my favorite tag teams and tag team
Yes,
runs ever.
Yeah.
yes. Playing beer I mean, drinking beer, playing cards, and then he
You know,
came
I
up with that.
Fighting in the
Damn,
bars.
damn.
you know, I
Right?
see
Yeah.
a bunch of people that grew up in my era were like Hardy Boy fans, Edge and Christian. Well, I don't take anything away from them, right? Like I was more of the Dudley Boys kind of fan, like Reek Havoc, the APAs,
Yeah.
man. Like I love them because they didn't give a damn. I mean, they destroyed Public Enemy in one match. Ended Public Enemy's whole career in one match.
That
Yep.
was, and because they didn't want to do a spot, and the acolytes were about to teach them a lesson and trying to change their mind before you go out the curtain, and
Yep.
they decimated them guys. Oh my god!
It's crazy.
But yeah, man, Ron Simmons is a huge inspiration to my character. So it helps when you you're able to say that and see it. It makes sense.
See,
Yeah.
you can see it. I knew he would get it. Plus, you
Yeah.
have the armbands and stuff. Like if you look at your picture, like you could tell you got the armbands stuff like that when when you come out in your gear and stuff. So it's just cool, man.
Oh
I
yeah,
just like I said, it's just really cool to get to know you a lot more. Uh,
oh
Sean,
yeah,
you got any
So
more? I know you got questions. You got. I've wore him out at lunch, so I'm gonna let you ask some questions.
No, you did not. No, you did not. I think we
You know
wore.
me.
I think we wore out the waitress.
We were
nah,
sitting there
so
talking for like 20 minutes before the waitress came up, and she like was basically like, "Do you guys want to order?" And we were like, "Oh my god!" We were talking and never even looked at the menu. So anyway, sorry, I
Oh
didn't mean to
man.
cut you off.
so if I look at you, like I look at you and you're jovial, right? I would see face. Have you ever worked heel?
For a short period, as a matter of fact, my first debut at CCW, I was supposed to be a heel.
Mhm.
The problem was my opponent was a classmate, and half of the audience were classmates. So
Mhm.
they were cheering for both of us regardless. And so when I step out, they start cheering for me. I get in the back, and they're like, "We're going to have to move you to face." And
Mm.
I rather enjoy face anyway. Of course, you can have a little bit more fun as a heel with some of the moves and things you can do to spice up a match. But me personally, I rather high five a fan than snatch a water bottle out of their hand. You know what I mean?
Or
Yeah.
That's
yell at him.
just who I am. That's my character. I actually had that happen a second time at one show I did. I was supposed to be a heel, but my wife, God bless her soul, uh, she starts screaming. She's going nuts. "Ah!" And so the fans, they didn't know me at the time, so they didn't know how to react. I came out with the mean face and everything. I was trying to be a heel, and my wife starts chanting for me, and the crowd turns. And again, I get called in the back, and they say, "You can't be a heel. You're gonna have to go face." But so yeah, baby faces. I prefer it much more than I have been heel, but I prefer baby face.
Okay. All right.
He picked up a new gimmick on accident. You want to tell him about that with
Oh.
Jake? You tell him about your new
All
gimmick,
right,
my man.
so Jake Painter, uh, talented young man, talented athlete. Matter of fact, I believe he had his shot at TNA, and I was proud to see him out there. But he
Nemeth. He
cut a
wrestled
promo
Nemeth.
on me.
Yeah.
Yep, he
Anyways,
cut a promo on me coming out of the nursing home, and he said he was going to break my back and send me to bed with a warm glass of milk. So in response, I cut a promo. I'm in my bathrobe and I'm pouring a glass of milk, and I talk my trash to him, whatever, and I take my sip of milk and I walk away. And apparently, some of the fans, all the fans, saw those promos. What they didn't know is before the show, I had went and put two milk jugs or two little milk cartons under the ring. And so match is going on, and I'm starting to hear the crowd doing these milk chants. Oh, Jake needs some milk. And I'm sitting there in the back of my mind like, this is going to be perfect.
I started
So
one.
match goes off. And hey, yeah. Hey, Jake needs milk. Get him some milk. And so I go over and I roll out the ring. I go into the thing and I pick up the milk and I try to hand him one and he didn't like it. I walk off stage, take a sip of my milk, and ever since then, my next match I had, which was this past month, I cut a promo again, and I was fighting a guy, Chase Bryant, calls himself a grizzly bear. He's a pretty big dude. So I
Big
said, I'm
dude.
going to need a little bit more than a glass of milk to beat him this time. And so I take a whole gallon of milk and drink it. And I bring a thing of little strawberry milk to the ring and I start drinking it before I enter into the ring. So milk has somehow accidentally become her new gimmick. So it's starting to get a little bit
Shit.
over.
But I told him to
Hey,
run with it, man. I told him to run with it. He's got a
Oh, yeah.
fan base on it. Run with it. I mean,
yeah,
Stone Cold
dude,
had
you can
beer.
bring
You
milk
have
and
milk.
cookies into that. You can bring milk and cookies into that.
I had a,
You're the indie.
I had
You're
one
the
guy
indie
after
John
the
Cena.
show. I had one guy after the show tell me he's going to come to the next show dressed like a milkman and hand me a glass before I get in the ring. I said, man, if you do that, that would be amazing.
You
That's
know what I told
awesome.
my wife?
We'll see what happens. What's that?
So I'm in there making your logo, and I told her, I said, you know what I should do? I should tell him that I'm gonna be the milkman and like just come out of nowhere with some milk or something. And then he just said, but she was like, I don't think you should do that. I said, I think it would be funny, but yeah, my
That would
involvement in
be
the ring
great.
it would be hilarious. Like with a gallon of milk, or hit
That
hit
would
one
be.
of the guys with a gallon of milk. Whoever you're fighting, just be like, pop, because they bust open easy. Just cut it a little bit. Oh, dude, be like front
Yeah,
row, get ready. I mean, it would work.
You
It'd be cool.
You could have somebody interfere in the match that's a milkman and bring milk down.
With me, yeah, like me, I could run in and like hit him with a just a gallon of milk. I mean, it ain't gonna hurt him, but
well, he
that'd be
just
cool. Have
hand me
somebody
the
do
glass.
that.
When he's got me in a submission hold, hand me a cup of milk so I can power
Yes.
up like Popeye's finisher.
Let me take a couple of sips, like get over to the rope and give it to you and take a couple of sips and be like, that'd be. I mean, run
Or
with
have
it.
like
That's crazy.
or have the guy hand the ref the milk and be like, he needs some milk.
We need some
The
milk.
ref just
And
comes
the
and
other
puts
guy
it down.
milk. Yes.
Hey, that would work too, man. Oh man, there's just so much that can be done with it.
Yeah.
Funny.
Yeah, I mean, you could even do a double turn
Man,
with the milk if you decided, hey, I want to go heel. You could have the milk where milk is like your charger, right? And then you can turn around and just right in the face, and boom.
oh
There's your
wow,
double. There's your
just
double turn.
so many things to do with that. Just gotta find what's fitting.
Oh, you
Absolutely, and
got
I
it.
think it's I think it's smart and that you're paying attention to the fans, and that you're kind of picking up on what they're finding joy in, because I've seen a lot of people that just ignore the fans and they're like, I'm sticking to this path. It just doesn't work out for them, right? Because fans kind of in a way dictate the pace of how your character
Oh,
runs, and if
Take
they
you
lose
definitely,
interest,
seriously.
definitely.
Sorry.
Without the
yeah,
fans, there's no show, And actually, if the fans are quiet, it's time to start thinking about getting out of this ring because no matter what we're doing, it's not pleasing them. So, and that's what we're there for. It's not always about having to get this particular move in and out of the way. If the fans ain't reacting, it's time to call an audible.
absolutely,
And like I was
absolutely.
talking with Jay earlier, I worked with one gentleman, Damian Wayne, and I love his mindset. I love the way he works. He's a great athlete. If you ever get the chance to see him, or if you have seen him work, uh, found out I was working him one night, and I said, "Sir, what would you like to do?" He said, "We'll talk about it in the ring." Oh, great! Oh, great! Sometimes that
Okay,
can put
Randy.
you on the edge because it can be nerve wracking a little bit, but I actually prefer to work that way because the crowd's going to tell you what to do. The crowd is going to tell you, did that move work? Is this going to work? When is your time to start coming back and beating up on the heel? Or when's the heel's time to bring all that noise back down. The crowd's getting too excited. You're getting too over. So, and when you're listening and paying attention, I think a lot of guys may say this, and you can ask your other wrestlers that are coming on, but a lot of guys might tell you this, but we got to pay attention to the fans. You got to have that connection. The heels have got to get that hatred from them, and the faces have got to get that sympathy. You got to get that. You got to get that love. Got to get that energy and that drive. So we need the fans, and every time they respond, boo or cheer, it is greatly appreciated. It really is.
Absolutely.
I have my
I got
coworkers
2
trying
other
to tell me,
questions before I'm done.
I know
okay,
I keep cutting you.
Go
I
ahead.
keep cutting you off. I know we talk a lot. Like I know you can edit this part, but like I keep cutting you off. I'm not meaning to. If I do, it's hard. It's hard. I
no,
think
no, you're absolutely fine.
it's okay. Okay, I don't want to cut anybody off. So, but yeah, if you want to knock your questions out, Sean, then we could talk about wrestling if y'all want to, like just regular
All right.
wrestling or whatever you want to talk about. LG, you just throw in whatever. So,
Yeah.
okay.
So
All right.
if you had to choose, if you had to choose 1 or 2, maybe 3 people, who would be your dream opponents? Like the perfect, there was perfect polarity and the world aligned, and you could work with that person. Who would you want to work with?
Pro, indie, does it matter? Does anybody?
It don't matter. Don't matter at all.
All right. Wow, that's a good question because I met a lot of great guys. I don't want to leave anybody out, but definitely I've trained with him, but I don't think we've ever done a show yet. But definitely Colby Carter. That's my boy.
Mhm.
But I think we would have a dynamite match. Um, of course, Ron Simmons. If I could ever get in the ring with him, that if I can keep from marking out, yeah, I would love to have a match with him. And oh gosh, 3, huh?
There's probably so many. It's probably
It's
hard to
hard.
narrow down 3.
It really is. It really is because I've worked with some guys. I've seen some guys work, and oh man, Kobe, Ron, and I would have to go with Attitude Era Rock.
Yeah, that's the good one. When he
I'm talking
first
about
became The
who's
Rock.
still having the hair with the sideburns,
Yes,
still doing
yes.
the people's eyebrow, quick on the mic.
Yep.
Yeah, give
And
me
the crazy
Attitude Era
Five
Rock.
shirts.
$5,000.
Crazy shirts. You gotta have the crazy and the
Yeah,
sunglasses. Gotta have it.
and
You already know that's my
get
man. I
that
already told you.
get that. It doesn't matter. Cut off one time.
Yes. Man, I let
Absolutely.
him rock bottom me for sure. Anywhere. I'm like, dude, you want a people's elbow rock bottom where you want to do it at? Where?
Oh yeah. Oh
So,
yeah.
man, that would be cool. That would be cool.
Jay, real quick, who would, if you could work, if you were a wrestler, who would you want to work? I already had my answer.
I gotta have 3. Well, I mean, of course, The Rock.
No,
I
you
mean,
don't
that's
got
my guy. Oh well, I mean,
it.
The Rock all day long, man. I don't even care if I wrestle him. I just want to meet him and talk to him. I want to hear his stories like yours. He's got a million of them. Plus, I have the Brahma
Oh
Bull
yeah.
tattoo. I didn't show you that. I meant to show you that. I have the Brahma
Oh
Bull
wow.
tattoo that I drew with the eyebrow raise, his actual logo on my arm. So I want to get him to autograph it, and then I want it tattooed autographed. But I don't know if I'll ever meet him.
Oh man.
You know how cool that would be, dude? You know how
Cool.
cool that would be to be able to have him just
That would be
autograph it
awesome.
because I actually drew it. I'm an artist, so I actually drew it and had it tattooed at 17. You could do it back then.
No.
So, but yeah, definitely The Rock.
Permanent
And
autograph.
dude, it would be so cool. It would be so cool. I
Yeah.
think that's what I'm
Yeah.
gonna. I was talking to them. This is kind of off key, but I was talking to them because I always want to get autographs from you guys. Well, I was like, man, if I get a whole bunch of papers and pictures and stuff, it's going to be ridiculous. It's hard to keep up with. So I told my wife, I think when I get a little bit of extra money, I'm going to buy me a belt, and I'm going to have every one of you guys sign a belt. I'm going to put like Jay or probably Wrestling All Day or something on it, and then I'm going to have every wrestler that I meet sign it, and that's going to be my
Wow.
my autograph. So I'm going to keep it in a case, of course, and like really take care of it. I think that would be awesome. and then to pass that on to my
Wow.
kids, that's just something really cool. And you could be the first to sign
Oh
it if you
yeah.
would like. So I really want to do that though. I think that would be really
Definitely
neat, and,
would.
and it's
I
one
got you.
thing. So, but yeah, I knew I went off course there, but yeah, definitely The Rock. I think I would have liked to have wrestled Bret Hart, man. Like I know he just the technical aspect. Like if I was going to be a wrestler and I could technically wrestle, I would want to wrestle him just because of. I mean, he was a very good wrestler. He would be somebody cool to get in the ring with, and of course, I got to say Shawn Michaels. I see. I've got like 4 or 5. I got a bunch of people too, like Undertaker. He's like Undertaker's basically a close tie with The Rock. Like that's my man. But,
Mm.
so
I
yours,
wouldn't,
yeah. I'll stop talking.
I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to mess with the Undertaker, man. Like no joke. You can have that. You're good.
Yeah, he's a.
No, I got two.
Dude.
I got two. CM Punk. Jay, I put up that picture last night. I met CM Punk in 2011. Best dude ever. But
Oh
I
yeah,
didn't put up.
yeah.
I got right after that. I went and got his logo
I
tattooed.
didn't know you had his tattoo,
Mhm.
dude.
Yep.
That's sick.
And the crazy part about it, I lived in North Carolina at the time, and I went to Shannon Moore's tattoo shop that he had in Cameron, and I got his shop. And so that was pretty crazy. Second one is Danhausen. I love Danhausen's work. I want to get cursed by Danhausen. I don't even care what else comes afterwards or before. I want to get cursed by Danhausen, and I'll be fine. I'll live the rest of my days and curse from Dan.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Some pretty good names there.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely. My last question kind of is in a form of that I kind of adopted from another podcaster. Huge name, Chris Van Vliet. Love that guy. And at the end of his show, he asked, "What are 3 things you're grateful for?" And so I'm going to ask you, LG, what are 3 things you're grateful for? It could be anything.
3 things that I'm grateful for. Number one, obviously, is my wife, my kids. Especially my wife. You know, people may not see it this way, but there's a great sacrifice on spouses, especially if they're not in the business or don't care nothing about wrestling. But she takes those long road trips with me from time to time. She's enduring, sitting through something that she doesn't care for until I make my match, and she's working my tables. She's actually been a huge support for me, so I'm definitely grateful for her on that. Um,
Awesome.
Wrestling, I'm grateful for that. I'm thankful for the opportunities that I've been given, the places that I've been able to go to, all the different people I've been able to meet. There's been some long tying relationships that have formed from trainings, from seeing same faces at different cities and states, and even now having the opportunity to meet Jay and yourself, Sean. The relationships that are like legitimate relationships that you form. That some people uh, I really look at as brother. You know, we always that's a going thing in wrestling. Everybody's brother, brother, brother. But some of these guys I truly look at as a brother. So, and
Okay.
because uh, it's because we all have. I would say we all have approximately the same end goal in mind. We all don't have the same routes that we go down to get there, but when you're on this path with someone of a like mind, you form a tight bond with them. And and finally, I'm very grateful for fans. And I'm not trying to gaslight anybody, but honestly, it's a different feeling when you walk out that curtain and people on their feet, people screaming your name. Uh, you're getting your head pummeled in, and you can hear this lowly old lady's voice. Get up, LG! Yeah, I mean, it's just fans make a break you. You know, when the promoters are hearing what's happening when you walk out, that pushes you up the ladder because the promoter's going to have no choice but to push you because the fans are falling in love with you. But yeah, definitely grateful for all the fans. Looking to get some more. Can never have too
You're going
many,
to.
but
You got another one over here.
I appreciate it.
But I
Oh
told
man,
him,
appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I'm here for all you guys, man. You already know anything you need, you just holler. And I'm not gonna
Right,
charge you
right.
guys. You work too hard. I get my other stuff from
Yeah,
the
and I'm saying this. I'm saying this right now. If you ever find yourself in Maryland, you got a bed, you got some food. I promise you.
Mhm.
No word,
Awesome.
no need to
Thank
spend
you.
money
Thank you.
on a hotel. It's just
We'll get you to Maryland once we get
Well,
big.
if you have anybody you know that looking to put in some faces, I'll definitely take a trip.
There you go.
hey man, you never know. We got Adrenaline Championship Wrestling where Adam Cole cut his teeth. We got MCW here, and then we've got one CW up in Delaware, which is right across the border from Maryland. So, yeah, we got some stuff around here
Nice.
going on.
Awesome. Awesome.
I'm gonna find us somewhere to have some kind of an indie con or something around Nashville. I told you that earlier. I'm gonna work on that too. I think that would be cool, Sean. Like have something. I'm gonna find
That
somewhere
would be.
maybe once or twice a year, even if it's just that to have the wrestlers come together like they have WrestleCons and stuff, have an indie con. I'm sure they have them, but I've never seen one around Nashville. So
No,
I'm gonna aim for one.
they're super hard to
I got
find.
big plans for these guys and gals. Sorry, and
That's
gals.
awesome. That's
So
that's awesome.
All right, so
Hmm.
that's my questions, Jay. Take it away.
man, I think I asked every question I could. Like I don't think there was anything earlier that I asked that I haven't asked here. Uh,
Hmm.
no. What do you
I got another one.
is there something that we haven't asked you that you want to tell us? Like I want like if you have anything you want to say, you just say it. Like we don't have to ask you a question. You just talk. That's what we're here for. So you just say what you want to
Right,
say.
right.
Like I said, so
All right.
we're cool with it.
Yeah.
Hey Sean,
I really
can we put his
Who?
didn't
promo
think
with
of
the milk
anything.
at the end of this? Oh, sorry, I cut you off right in the beginning.
Nah,
No, you
man,
You
good.
know
go
what I
ahead. Go
said
ahead.
though? Can we put that? Can we put that promo video of him in the robe with the milk at the end of this?
We can. We
You know
can.
we got to do that
I can
now.
get
They
it
got to
pulled
get the
up.
milk
But
idea. They got to see. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry, I had to mention that before I forgot.
yeah, bro. LG, who do you like now? Whether it's in the Indies, whether it's in one of the bigger promotions, who do you like now? Like if you turn the TV on, you see him, you're like, I'm encapsulated. I'm gonna keep watching.
Solo running Jay Uso. I didn't really care for him when they tried to force him back into teaming up, and no dig on Jimmy, but Jay is coming up. Jay is coming up,
Yeah,
and this was before he got the title. You know, he was already had the crowd in his back pocket. So, uh, he, to me, he's just a phenomenal athlete. So, with the exception of him, watching the rope dive, but yeah, I'll go with Jay right now.
good deal.
Yeah, I think what they did, with Jimmy, where they had Gunther bloody him up, that really took him to the next level. It
It was
really
crazy.
elevated and
Yes,
pushed him to where he needed to be. God.
You know
yes,
what that was?
yes.
Attitude era is what that was. They're trying to make a comeback on it, man. I'm telling you, they're trying to make a comeback. It's getting rough. That's why it's on Netflix.
And they done something that they've kind of strayed away from, and a lot of even indies are strayed away from. Gunther actually taps out. You don't see that much
Yeah,
anymore, especially in a title match. I
right.
mean, they're throwing each other's moves at each other. They're going through hell, and they bring back the tap out. And I think that right there speaks volumes of
Oh yeah.
Gunther's willingness to put somebody over. 'Cause a lot of guys, you don't see tapping no more. You don't see submission moves unless it's a special stipulation match.
Not really.
Mhm.
I don't even remember really. I
No,
mean, I don't even really see submissions anymore much. Yeah, I think about that. You don't see them much anymore.
Right.
I mean, you had the sharpshooter,
No,
the
no,
ankle lock. I mean, you had a million back when we were growing up.
Oh
There was
yeah.
a million of them.
Oh yeah.
So
well, I mean,
Figure four.
outside of Gunther, I don't think anybody's finishing a match on a submission.
females, Charlotte Flair, but I mean, she has to do what is that, the figure 8 or whatever she calls it. So I mean, she does that as a tap out, but I
Yeah.
don't think anybody else that I can think of really. I mean, the sleeper thing with Gunther, but like STF with John Cena, I think isn't that like
They
the
cut
last
Asuka.
real? I don't know. I couldn't even tell you. I've been watching
Matt Riddle made. Well, no. When Riddle was in WWE, he made Seth tap out literally minutes before Bray Wyatt made his return. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's something to think about, though. I haven't
That's
ever
Riddle.
even thought about that.
It's
Wrestling's a lot different,
it's
man. That's what I was telling
happenings of-
LG3
damn.
earlier.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's gotten more
It's
about
not.
what you're doing as far as if what you're doing is making sense. I've never been a
Yep.
big fan of that
If you-
spot where you have the 5 guys standing outside and the one guy's going to jump on top of them, like that.
Yeah.
The video that's floating around from that hurt my heart. That hurt my heart seeing that. You got 10 guys on the floor.
Yeah,
This
from
one guy jumps down and yes, and they all fall, but yet they still manage to drop Buddy on his face. I don't get that. But hey, they making the big dollars and
Mhm.
I'm not.
Right.
One of the
right,
things
right,
I don't get, right? One of the things that I don't get is the 8,000 false finishes, right? Like you got a dude that just ate a cutter, like Randy Orton's finisher, and then he goes to he goes and he gets and he goes for the pin and kicks out at 2. Like, sorry for my language, the fuck, because that is Randy Orton's RKO, right?
Dude, I'm telling you. So
Like-
I could get deep in that.
That's a match ender right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Supposed to be.
I hate it.
Hulk Hogan's leg drop, bro. They do leg drops up, like do moonsault leg drops off the top rope. Hulk Hogan's leg drop was the finisher. I mean, the Samoan drop was the who was it Superfly? Anyway, one of them did the Samoan drop as their finisher. It's like like the regular moves, DDTs. Jake the Snake was a DDT. They don't have finishers anymore.
Now,
Nope.
now
That's the
that
whole point. Sorry.
overused super kick.
And
Dude, oh my god.
spamming the super kick.
Oh my god, that's all it is. It's spears. Super kicks and spears. That's what the WWE is now. Everybody does spears.
Well, no,
Everybody
that's
does
also
spears.
AEW.
Oh
man.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody does spears and super kicks in WWE. Everybody does super kicks and destroyers and AEW. Like, I saw
It's crazy.
the moment I saw Dustin Rhodes. I love Dustin Rhodes, but the moment that I seen Dustin Rhodes cut a damn destroyer, I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
Gold
Taker
does
even
doing
said
a
something
destroyer.
about that.
Who would have imagined?
He said that in an interview. They interviewed a bunch of the wrestlers. That's what it pissed Taker off. It pisses him off that they don't have a finisher anymore. What the hell's the point? If you do a finisher, the match is over. These people are doing like stunners. They had he did 10 stunners. Come on, you get Stone Cold stunned, you're done. You get tombstoned, you're done. It's I don't get it. I don't get it. I guess they just want the excitement, but it's like the old school folks are annoyed, but the new school folks don't understand it, so they don't care. I mean, honestly, that's what it is. So,
Mm-hmm.
but what's your favorite finisher? Do you have a favorite finisher? Either one of you guys. Dominator. Oh, he's got the people's elbow. You know that was an accident. He was
I heard
doing that to be funny.
I heard it was a rib. I heard they dared
he
him
was
to
just
do
being
it.
silly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it ended up sticking, and that's what it became. It became the people's elbow. They're like, It's silly, but it ended
The
people.
bet,
That even ended people. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
well,
People's elbows are
And it got
frivolous.
over. And I think what helped it get over is uh your buddy there, the king, the way he would announce it. Because announcers help too.
Dude, oh
Announcers
man,
can
him and JR.
get a match over. Because
Oh yeah,
if if the king's not in the microphone hollering out, the most electrifying music,
right.
was it? I,
Yep,
I don't think it would get as
yep.
much pop in it.
Nope. Hey, that's what they made it too for sure. The announcers definitely make it for
Yeah,
sure. So
yes, definitely.
yeah.
I
What's your
I
favorite,
think
Sean?
I think the best people's elbow I've ever seen was when he did it to Prince Dog, where he slid across the ring and just
He had on the edge slides. He didn't
Yes.
stuck
even
it
mean
to
to
him.
do it.
Loved it.
It was sick. That was the best one ever
Yeah.
for sure. I don't know, man.
Definitely.
Do you have a
But
favorite
my
finisher?
favorite finish, I do. Mine is clothesline from hell. It's effective and it's simple.
Man, that was
And if you do it right, and your opponent sells it like it's supposed to. Yeah,
It's devastating.
you got a hell of a finishing move. If you could throw a clothesline like that.
Hmm.
I don't even know. I'd have to sit here and think. See, I ask you guys like I'm supposed to know. Well, what's yours, Jason? I mean, there's so many, man. If I'm gonna pick a favorite, man, there's so many good ones. Like the Dominator's a bad one. That's a bad dude.
That the Alabama
Yeah.
Slam.
Oh, God. Yeah, Alabama Slim kills somebody.
You don't see that happening much either.
Nah, man. They don't even do. They can't, well, of course they can't do pile drivers. I don't know, man. That's crazy. I like the stunner, but I don't know. It's been done so much, man. I've always liked it.
Seeing
Me,
how this,
honestly, if you want me to be honest, I like the 5-star frog splash. I go back to Eddie. I've always liked. I mean, Rob Van Dam's. I mean, I like the 5-star frog splash. I mean, I've always been a big fan of that as a finisher. I think it's pretty cool. As an aerial, I guess it could have all kinds of different. I like the sharpshooter. I think it's badass. I always thought the sharpshooter was cool. So there's all. I guess there's all kind. You could actually do like this technical one, because I could probably do each position of what my
so
favorite
then,
hold is.
Yeah.
what would you say who is your favorite seller?
Like you mean like
Like the
sold
way,
like a hit?
like the way The Rock sells a stunner. I don't think there's anybody who sells it
Oh
any better.
no, dude,
Hmm.
not better than The Rock on the stunner. Dude, Triple H is hilarious, man. It's not a good sell. What
Hmm.
is that match? Remember he got it was a stunner, wasn't it? Where he stood there and he walked in the ring for
No,
like
he
a
came
good
off.
6 minutes.
No, that was the
He
boot.
came off the rope,
Oh, the
and
boot. That's right.
Randy
That's
caught him with
right.
the
That's
boot.
right. That's right. And that was right. Right. And he stood there for like 10 minutes. I was like, what in the world? Like,
And then Sean's in the background trying to blow him over.
yeah, like that's just gold, man. It's
Oh
gold,
yeah.
just like the match they had for the first time. I think was it the first time Triple H got the Intercontinental Championship, where Shawn Michaels laid down and he literally just kept running back and forth for like 6 minutes, and then he did this like little belly thing, like he didn't even touch him, and then they pinned the 1, 2, 3, and I was like, what the hell is this? But like, you
That
remember
was
that?
classic.
He kept like running like he was like Bionic Man or something. But there's some really
Yeah.
I think back. See, I went back when the vault landed. I went back and restarted, man. And I've seen stuff now that I missed. There's so much that I missed. Like not missed, but like I see it now and I remember it. Like I remember seeing it. It's so cool, man. I love wrestling, but there's nobody gonna beat the Attitude Era.
No, I enjoyed Dolph Ziggler selling because I felt bad for him. Like I genuinely felt bad for him when he would get booted by like Sheamus. I'm like, God damn, man.
He would just go limp.
Yes.
I feel so bad for you.
He would
Dude,
make
some
him
of the-
look devastating.
Man, some of them guys are crazy. They take hits so well. God, Like some the way that he's hit them sometimes with that clothesline from hell, my God, it had to hurt them. Sometimes the way they hit, the way they when you hit them with the spear, man, God, like Braun Breaker, dude. There's no way he hits you and you don't feel it. There's no way.
Oh yeah, you're gonna feel every bit of that one.
No, dude, no.
Yeah.
Speaking of selling, that time that Enzo Amore concussed himself, I thought he legitimately was selling. I was like, man, he's selling shit out of that. And then they brought the stretch out. I was like, he ain't selling this. He's legitimately.
Oops, that's real. I was at
Man.
That's real.
I was at a Raw that AJ Styles. I go to Raw every now and again. I don't like going much because it's so tight nipped, and I'm a big dude at Bridgestone. But where was I going with this? I don't know where I was going with this. I was at a Raw and
AJ.
I didn't hear you. I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, I said AJ Styles. You said AJ Styles.
It was his first match back. We were at Raw, and it was his first match back, and he got hurt. He got legit hurt in the ring, and like they stopped the match, turned it, and I was like, "You were kidding me! He just got this is his first match back. He got injured and was out for another, I think, 3 weeks. So, yeah. Oh my God, it's 56. I didn't realize we're almost an hour in, dude. I could talk forever. So,
oh wow,
yeah.
Well,
we can always, you can always.
Before we wrap up, if we get in there, one more favorite faction, because we talked about this at lunch earlier.
Oh yeah, me and you.
Jeez.
Yeah, I liked RTC grew on me. I didn't like them at first, but when they started doing the whole brainwashing and converting everybody, and got the most vilest wrestlers and turned them into saints. Oh, I thought that was the best gimmick, the best faction. Right to censor. I like them.
That was a cool faction. That was a really cool faction. I like, dude. I like.
I got a few.
That's what I'm saying. You go ahead. I bet some of them are probably mine. Go for it, Shaw.
Okay. I grew up. I grew up on NWO. I was an NWO kid versus an DX kid. I loved NWO. I love Scott Hall. Scott Hall is one of my favorites of all time.
Yes.
So NWO was one of them. I would say Evolution is probably my favorite faction.
Yes, I was sitting there thinking
it took two young guys and two older guys and made them an unstoppable force. And it elevated Batista and Randy Orton after they left the group, right? So they were getting that meteoric rise, and then as soon as they left the group, boom, strap a rocket to them.
Oh yeah.
And then I would say, and I feel like a faction, like it has to serve a purpose, and it has to do something for the people once they leave. Because if it dissipates and nothing happens and nobody does anything great, you just kind of wasted it. I would say NXT Undisputed Era. God, they were good.
Yeah.
I'm going old school. I'm going way back. Four Horsemen. Dude, I like the four. Arn Anderson, Rick. I mean, dude, Mongo. I mean, they were bad dudes. Like I really liked them.
Yes,
Evolution was a strong. I like DX, but DX wore out quick. Like I love DX, but they drove DX so far in the ground that it just got annoying. Like I didn't want to deal with it anymore. I think the corporate ministry was kind of the creepy stuff they did suck, but the way that like the Undertaker presented himself and stuff, like they did some stuff that I could not believe that they put on TV, dude. But like I like the corporate ministry and the fact of what they were, but not some of the crap that they did on TV. Man, I was telling LG3 earlier, I can't believe the stuff we watched back then and like versus now. Oh my God, dude. I like Triple H dressed up as Kane and got in a coffin with a person and did things. How did we you remember that? How did that get on TV? And I was live, bro. I watched it live. Yeah.
Mm.
How did they get on TV, man? Like, suck it, dude. I walked through
I don't even
school.
think
I
that's
walked through school.
PG.
It's not, man. We wore the DX shirt to school. I walk around school telling everybody to suck it. Nobody even cared. They laugh it off, keep going. You do that today, man, they put you in jail.
Oh yeah,
I
quick.
mean,
Yeah, no.
but that's my. I mean, there's a bunch of factions, but
I
man,
did
I
love.
really like the Four Horsemen, dude.
I love the
Hey,
ministry, dude. I love the ministry
Yes,
and what they were
yes.
doing. I loved how they had the sacrifices. I thought that was really cool. And I just like driving down the street with the Undertaker's right, because it scares people. Nobody comes to talk to me, and I'm okay with that.
We have one more. We have one more. Do I have time for one more question? Favorite rivalries. Like you can either do a one-on-one or you could of course if I'm saying tag team, it's just gonna be the Dudleys, the Hardys. You already know Edge and Christian, the normal folks. But like if you're looking at a one-on-one rivalry, which you already know what mine is, but one-on-one rivalry. Did I say that right? Man, I'm so country. What would you think
oh man.
is like? What would yours be? You already know mine. I'll just go ahead and tell you. Stone Cold and The Rock, bro. There was nothing like the Stone Cold and Rock rivalry.
Yep.
When he threw that damn belt off the bridge and then he threw Stone Cold off the bridge, that rivalry was, he hit him with a fishing pole, bro. I mean, that was gold. That was pure gold. That's why that was pure gold. But you remember that? Where he drove up in the truck on the Rock like he's gonna be doing something bad.
Yeah.
Rock hit him with a fishing pole, threw his ass over, then threw the belt over. But their rivalry was my favorite. I mean, there's a lot more, but dude, I just can't get out of the Austin and Rock era. Which McMahon and Austin was cool at some points, but it got annoying too. So, but what's yours, Sean? Or LG? Either one?
The oldie but goodie, I would say Triple H and The Rock.
Dude, yeah,
they had a long lasting feud, and then when Triple H would try to set up The Rock and use DX in his advantage against The Rock, and just The Rock versus DX.
Everybody versus The
Rock. Yeah, definitely.
That was good stuff. That's gold.
You know, and one of the things, one of my favorite matches is Triple H and The Rock in the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. But one thing that I'm very disappointed is we never got to see Rock versus Triple H at Mania, period. We also never got to see Undertaker versus Rock at WrestleMania. We never got to see Undertaker versus Austin at Mania. Blows my mind how those two matches never happened.
I'm thinking of new questions now. Dang it, man. God.
Those would have been great.
I'm thinking of new questions. Like, I don't want to keep going because I know like an hour is a lot. But like, dude, I'll think about God, I keep losing my train of thought, man. I've got so much wrestling running through my mind. I keep losing my train of thought. Man, it was gonna be funny. Oh well, whatever. Just it ain't that important. So yeah. I cannot believe I forgot what I was saying.
I'll say one of my other favorite rivalries. One of my other favorite rivalries, and it's spanned over 10 years, is Brock versus Roman. I loved it because you saw the evolution of Roman, how he changed from the Shield Roman to the Big Dog to the OTC, right? And that transformation of character, right? But you also seen the evolution of Brock and how he went from just the beast incarnate to the conqueror to everything that Brock was, right? And so like both of the characters, like Cowboy Brock, right? So like you saw the evolution of both characters, but they still stayed parallel. And there were some really entertaining moments. I loved when Brock came out at SummerSlam. I was at that SummerSlam 22 when he came out in the fucking tractor, when he jumped off the tractor on Roman. That was great. I enjoyed it.
It's good stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I wish I could remember what I was going to say. Dadgummit.
Yeah.
It was pertaining to wrestling, of course.
Well,
I don't know. Anyway, I could talk forever.
Usual. Well, while you think about that, LG, is there anything you want to plug while we're here?
Um, CCW will back at the Troubadour, Nashville, May 24th. It's a
Check it out, guys.
double shot for me because it's also my birthday.
Oh
Cheap plug.
man, that's awesome.
If anybody is ever in
Birthday.
the Union City, Tennessee area, I also wrestle for a company, Union City Wrestling. I believe they operate maybe bi-monthly. The dates change up a little bit, but watch my Facebook. I definitely post the dates. Matter of fact, on the 10th of May, we're having a Royal Rumble type match going on. So if you're in the Union City area in May, come on down, check us out. And as a matter of fact, tonight, well, by the time this airs, Wednesday night, I'm actually heading to Trenton, Tennessee for the Teapot Fest but Tennessee Championship Wrestling is going to be putting on a free show for the patrons tonight. So I'm actually heading on my way down there as soon as we're done here.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
I know what I was going to ask, but it's going to take too long. I was
Absolutely.
just going to say, who do
Well,
you
thank
think
you.
should have won the championship that didn't? But that's yeah. Anyway,
Conversation for another time.
oh, I know. That's why I said I
LG,
can't do this right
I
now.
want
Anyway,
to
go for it, but
LG, I want to thank you for being on the show, man. I really appreciate you,
Thank you.
and I
Thank you for
appreciate your
having
body
us.
of work, and I
cut out, Sean.
appreciate the sacrifice that you make to keep us in it.
Thank you guys for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you cut out for just a second. Go for it, LG.
Well, I'm sorry. I said I want to thank you, LG, for. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, we couldn't. I couldn't hear you the
Nah.
first time. That's why I said if you just want to restart, you can edit. I couldn't hear you. Like Sean, you go ahead and say thank you again because it cut out for one of y'all. Cut out for a second. I couldn't hear anything. So if you want to go ahead and do that again, we can.
You know what? It's good. We don't have to edit it out because this is great.
This is real shit.
This is great. We don't have to edit anything out.
You believe it?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? You know what? You know what? People are fake and wrestling is real.
There you
I
go.
believe it. 100%. Yeah,
There it
buddy.
is.
Dude,
All
thank
right.
you seriously.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
Seriously. You need anything?
Thank you
know where
guys
I'm
so
at.
much.
All right.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. And
Yes, sir. I look forward to you guys next
All right.
shows. I am
We're
gonna close
definitely
out the show,
tuning in.
y'all.
Oh yeah, for sure. We'll get this one posted up
Absolutely.
tomorrow and get it
All right,
get it sent out. So, thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. We're gonna shut the show down. All right.